Welcome to this first program of the 5 founding values of the Church of Wisdom and Wonder. I'm Charlie, one of the daughters of wisdom, and this is Peggy, the other daughter of wisdom. The first value is no lie, no matter how small, is ever acceptable, particularly those lies we tell ourselves.
Yes, so today we're going to talk about the pervasive habit in our society, in our culture, of telling white lies and how that affects our society and how it affects us. And it's something that we want to give people food for thought. We want people to try to think about this and try to decide what part of your life it is. Do you want it to still be in your life? Do you want to change something? Or is it okay with you?
Well, one of the things that Peggy and I have been discussing and I've been thinking about with white lies is why do we tell them? And in thinking about this, one of the things that kept coming to my mind was, in cases where I've told white lies, is I believe I'm doing it usually to protect another person. For example, let's say Peggy decided to dye her hair pink this weekend. And when I saw her next, she says to me, "What do you think about my hair?" And rather than telling her the truth, which is what we're talking about here today, I said, "Oh, it looks nice." So I've convinced myself that I can't really tell Peggy the truth. And I've convinced myself by telling myself a lie, that I'm doing it to protect her.
So, in actual fact, it seems like you're telling a lie to protect yourself.
Exactly.
Because if we're telling somebody a lie, maybe perhaps you feel like this person, he's my friend or she's my friend, but if I tell them the truth, they're going to like me less, or maybe they won't be my friend anymore.
That's true.
Or something to that effect. So I think it's something that we need to start to analyze in the way that we approach things. And it's not like you have to be brutal in your honesty. Sometimes you can avoid a direct answer. Sometimes you can do a kinder, more truthful answer. Sometimes you just have to kind of accept the fact that what you're going to say might be a little bit hurtful or a little bit not what they're expecting to hear.
One of the things that Peggy and I were talking about earlier about white lies is that perhaps one of the things that we're doing is protecting ourselves and protecting a friendship that might not be the depth of a friendship that we thought that we had, because a true friendship is one in which you can actually tell the full truth to somebody. And that is something I would like to leave with people who are watching this program. The next time you find yourself with someone close to you, ask yourself, after you've told a white lie or you're about to tell a white lie to yourself, ask yourself, am I doing this because I'm not sure the relationship can stand up to the truth?
And that's a very good question to be asking yourself, Charlie. And yeah, it's a difficult one. So really, it's more damaging when you think about it to a relationship, whether it's with a spouse or whether it's with a friend or even a work relationship. It's more damaging to be constantly lying, because here's the thing. Usually, in the case of the pink hair, if
Don't do that, please.
yeah, if she told me, "Oh, it looks great," I mean, I would, in my little heart of hearts, know that probably wasn't true. And I would already have told myself the lie that it kind of, "Oh, I look great in the pink hair." But I would, at some level, I'd kind of know I wasn't being told the truth. And at that point, you're creating an environment where the situation is that you're creating mistrust between you, even though you have a really good relationship. Now you know, basically, you can't trust each other.
Very true. I want to share an experience that I had just this weekend with my husband. And it goes right to the heart of the matter of what Peggy was talking about, which is trust. It had been quite a while since I had this pair of black pants on, and I decided that I would wear them out to dinner on Saturday night. And I put them on, looked in the mirror, and I could not tell myself the truth. So I put a tunic on to cover up what the mirror was telling me. And I went out to the living room and I said to my husband, "Do you think these pants make me look fat?" And he said to me, "Yes, they do. And if it was me, I would take them off and I wouldn't wear them any longer." Now, two things happened. First of all, I knew that those pants didn't look well on me. Second of all, the one thing that I really love about my husband is he always tells the truth. And he did in this case. But a part of that goes right to the heart of what Peggy was talking about, that I had to test my husband to see if he was going to tell me the truth. And it goes right to the heart of trust. And in a way, I was testing to see whether I could keep trusting my husband. And that's kind of a problem.
I would say so, yes. So what we're trying to say here is that in a general sense is as this white lie and bigger lie culture sifts all the way through our lives, what we're doing is we're creating an overall culture of mistrust, untruth, and so you reach a point where, for example, you might not even trust your doctor, you might not trust your neighbor, you might not trust your spouse because you know you're being lied to on a fairly regular basis. And the flip side of that is if you're doing the same thing to sort of save someone's feelings or however you want to look at it, then the same thing's happening on the other end. They can't trust you. So the whole thing is creating this web of mistrust and bad feelings, really, when you get down to it. It seems to us that it really needs to, if not altogether stops, it definitely needs to slow down a whole lot.
You know, one of the things I'd like to do, Peggy, is go back to the other part of our value. Remember the lie? It was no lie, no matter how small, is ever acceptable, particularly those we tell ourselves. So going back to my pants example, a couple of things came up to me when I was thinking about this. What might be some of the reasons that we tell ourselves lies? So the first thought I had was, I'm avoiding telling the truth to protect others. Or I'm avoiding telling the truth to protect myself. And last, I might be avoiding telling the truth because there's a problem I'm dealing with that I don't want to deal with. That's what I call procrastination. I might put something off because I don't want to handle it, even though I have the time to do it. But that's the lie I tell myself. So this is a pretty complicated issue, but I think it's just as important that I don't lie to another person, and equally as important, I admit that I'm lying to myself.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's where we're going with this. We're calling for people to take a look inside at themselves and at others and to see what is actually happening here and to decide how it fits in your life or not, what you want to do about it, if anything. It really is something that needs to be examined. And even if as an individual, perhaps you're okay with it and it's perfectly fine for all of this to keep going on, and that's a choice, and that's up to you. But if that is not what you want and it's not how you feel and you think maybe things should change, then it gets down to where you have to start thinking about, well, then how am I going to change it? Because it's not that easy. I mean, with the pink hair episode again, if you tell somebody point blank, I mean, you don't want to just say something like, God, you look awful. Obviously, you don't want to be unkind. That's a different ball game. But it's something that I think needs to be really, really thought through and examined, and you know, decisions made consciously, not just keep doing the same old, same old.
Well, that is our first value here at the Church for Wisdom and Wonder. And just to say a couple of things and follow up to what Peggy was saying, our goal here in these YouTube presentations is to help you become aware of things that you do in your life, maybe telling lots of white lies, not only to other people but to yourself, and to get you thinking about whether it is working for you. And if it is working for you, fine, as Peggy said. If it's not, then there might be some behaviors that you want to make a change to.
So that's it for this very short little episode. And we're going to talk about what's going to come next. We're going to be discussing more of our values in the future. And we have 5 of our foundational values. This was the first. Next week, next Tuesday, we'll be posting one on a discussion of humbleness in strength. So that's a kind of a tricky one. So we're going to have kind of fun talking about that one. We hope you'll come back and join us next week.
And do some thinking about no lies.
Till next time.